Now, many of my clients only start looking at their retirement plan seriously when they're about 5 years out. But that leaves a very, very small window of opportunity to take action, especially if things are off track. And leaving it that late doesn't leave any room for mistakes either, but it does leave an awful lot of room for regret. Now, I understand why people leave it late, because it's confusing, it's messy, it's time consuming and very frustrating, and I get it. In this video, I'm going to walk you through a 6-step game plan that has been proven to have helped several hundred of my clients get far more successful and more positive outcomes over and over and over again. And this has helped them and allowed them to retire richer as a result. So welcome back to the Personal Finance Crew. And if this is your first time, a very warm welcome to the Economies channel, where together we're going to be learning the language of money and wealth. We're also focused and dedicated and passionate to make this financial wisdom available to absolutely everybody. Hi, my name is Simon. I'm a chartered financial planner based in the UK with over 30 years of experience. So why don't you come with me and let's walk through this 6-step survival guide to make sure you are fully prepared for your best retirement, even if you've got zero experience. So I'll see you in a minute. When planning for retirement, there is only one simple truth, and that always holds firm. And that is preparation is the key to absolutely everything. So let's face it, retirement is like a puzzle. And like any puzzle, it needs clear thinking and a clear plan. What you need to do is start by looking at the end goal and then working yourself backwards and then mapping out a timeline to find out what your major milestones are going to be. You need to ask yourself, what age do you want to retire? What's your lifestyle going to look like and what's it going to cost? And when are you going to get your state pension? So if you don't know what this might cost, Hargreaves Lansdown in their Savings and Resilience Barometer stated that a single person would need about £25,000 a year for a moderate retirement, whereas a couple would need over £36,000. Now clearly this is less than the PLSA cost of a moderate retirement for a single person, which they set at £35,000 a year, and £43,000 for a couple. What do you think a moderate lifestyle should cost? Let me know in the comments below. Next, it's going to be very useful to draw up a battle plan of what you currently have in place, and that's going to include having all your important documents in the same place, such as your ISAs, your bank accounts, your pension providers and the most recent valuations, any investment accounts, of course your savings records, and your mortgage details, and that includes how much you owe, how much you pay each month, and when they're likely to be fully paid. Any car finance, and of course any loan details as well. You also need to make sure that your will is up to date and any life insurance are going to be included as well. And once everything's in one place, you're going to have to then evaluate what your current position looks like. Are you on track? Are there any gaps? Now this essential planning is going to help you get your bearings and know exactly where you are and identify any shortfalls and any gaps. Now, one of the biggest pitfalls and some of the biggest mistakes that I see on a regular basis is underestimating what your future income might well be. Now, you need to start calculating 2 figures. Now, one is going to be the income that you actually need in retirement. Now, that might be different from the numbers we've already just spoken about earlier, but we all have our personal number, and you need to figure out what your income needs going to be. And that's obviously going to be based on the sort of lifestyle that you want, especially in the early years when you're going to be more active and going to be able to do more things. Then the next key number is your projected income that you have right now. This is going to include your state pension, your workplace pension, any investments that you might have, any dividends, any property rental maybe, or bank interest. So be under no illusion whatsoever. There's almost always a shortfall between these 2 numbers, so don't panic. Now at this stage, you might have to consider increasing your pension contributions, delaying your retirement a little bit, or even adjusting your spending expectations. Now, the state pension is still a major foundation of retirement income for millions of people in the UK. So you need to know exactly what you're going to receive. And in order to do that, you're going to have to request a BR19 form, which we call a state pension forecast from the government. You can do this online, of course, or by post. I'm going to put the address on screen for you. Another thing to consider is your national insurance contribution record. Now, as a gentle reminder, you're going to need 35 qualifying years to get the maximum state pension, which is £11,502 a year. But if there's gaps in your record, the state pension could be a lot less than you expect. So you're going to have to review your national insurance record and make sure you make any voluntary contributions if needed to secure the full state pension that you're entitled to. Now, don't forget, the state pensions are going to increase to £11,973 from April next year. Now, I'm going to link a video about how you actually do that at the end of this video, so stay tuned. These simple steps could mean thousands of pounds more in your pocket over the course of your retirement. Recent studies have showed that the average worker will have about 9 jobs in their career, working for over 6 or 7 different employers. That means the chances are you're going to accumulate multiple pensions from multiple providers over the years. And consolidating them can simplify your finances, and that can also save you on fees and charges. So let's have a look at some of the benefits of consolidation. Well, it can be easy to have everything under one roof for ease of administration. You could also have a wider range of funds to pick from, as well as investment options. We talked about it earlier, there could be also lower management fees as well. So it's worthwhile mentioning at this point that not all pension schemes are created equally. Many pension providers are not going to offer you the full range of withdrawal options, either from your tax-free cash or your income drawdown. So please make sure you pick very carefully. Now, some older pensions may have some valuable guarantees or additional benefits which could be lost on transfer. So make sure you're not going to be at a disadvantage if you want to do that. As with everything, please tread carefully. Now, the early years of retirement often come with very higher spending patterns in the early years as you tick off your bucket list dreams such as travel or even taking up new hobbies. Now, this is natural, obviously, but it's crucial to budget for this very active phase in the early years of your retirement. Now, we very fondly call these the go-go years, and they are very quickly followed by the go-slow years, and then ultimately the no-go years. So what you should also be doing now is tracking your spending now, which is going to give you a very realistic picture of what your spending habits are and what you're likely to continue in retirement, but importantly, what you can do without. Now, you should anticipate higher spending, especially in the early 5 to 10 years of retirement, with a gradual tapering off as you go or approach the go-slow years. Now, the final 5 or 6 years before retirement are a prime time to consider turbocharging your savings. Now, every pound invested now or saved is going to be a benefit to you, and you will thank yourself, I promise you. You're going to need to consider maxing out your pension contributions as they come with tax relief, and that's going to give you an extra investment boost, compounded, of course, from the government. Now, you also need to make sure that you're contributing enough into your workplace pension scheme. And you need to push for the maximum you can actually get, especially if your employer is going to offer a match contribution as well. Now, this is free money, so don't leave it on the table whatever you do. You can also use your annual ISA allowance of £20,000, of course, to grow your tax-free savings as well. And here's a top tip. What if you're not ready to stop working entirely? Now, many pensioners find fulfillment and financial security in semi-retirement. Now, this, of course, has got the advantage of having an additional income stream, a smoother transition through retirement, and obviously keeps you active and engaged, both mentally and socially. So just a final word, retirement success isn't just about luck. As always, it's about preparation and making some smart choices. Now, by following these 6 proven steps, you're going to be well on the way to standing out from the rest of the crowd as you enter retirement. Now, I've got another 2 videos in this series. One is going to be about the pension consolidation process and how to avoid the chaos of having multiple pensions all over the place. And there's going to be a second video as well about how to boost your state pension, and you can follow my steps that I took, which improved my pension by £38,000. So thank you so much for watching to the very end, for your time and for your patience as always. Thank you for joining me for a brief walk along the beach in a gorgeous, gorgeous day. If you know, you know, and I'll see you all again next week.